Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name is Laura. I'm a self-taught makeup enthusiast who just loves glowy makeup, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be doing pretty much a full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup. I'm wearing like 98% Charlotte Tilbury products on my face today. So if you guys want to see how I did this look, my review of the brand and the products that I have, then please keep on watching. All right, so let's just go through everything, all the products that I have, and then I'm probably gonna have to substitute a couple things, a couple categories of products that I don't have for my collection. So let's talk about what I already have in my collection. I did do my brows. I am wearing the ABH Dip Brow. I don't have any Charlotte Tilbury brow products. I don't even know if they make brow products, to be honest, but I've got enough brow products in my collection that I don't need anything else. I'm quite happy with what I have. So I have this sample of the Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation, long-lasting, medium coverage, healthy looking glow. It's hyaluronic acid infused, it improves the look of skin, blah, 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 all of those claims. 6 shades here. I will obviously be using the lightest shade, which is the shade 2 Neutral, and I'm hoping that it's pale enough for me. I don't have a bronzer or contour, so why are all of these neutrals? And this is so weird. The way they do samples is so strange. All of these shades are neutral except for the darkest one, which is Cool. I really just want a cool toned shade. I'm probably going to use either the shade 8 or the shade 10, so the third last or the second last, to do sort of like a bronzer contour situation. I think the darkest shade is almost definitely too dark to use as a contour. I'll probably just use like kind of one of the middle shades as a bronzer contour situation, and then I won't do actual contour. Then the box is like breaking. I've literally had this in my drawer of like products that I want to test out for ages, and I guess the box kind of broke. But anyways, this is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I've heard really good things about this. Apparently it makes your skin all like glowy or whatever. We're gonna be trying this out. It's 9:45 in the evening while I'm doing this video. I'll only be wearing this for a few hours, but we'll see kind of like what it looks like. Oh, apparently it also primes your skin. So I guess we'll be using this as a primer as well as a setting spray. That's great. And then I also have this Lip Cheat lip liner. I can't remember if I've probably talked about this a couple times on my channel. Literally just an overpriced lip liner. I have the red shade because I've been looking for a red lip liner, and this was like the only one I was able to find. This is in the shade Kiss and Tell. I don't actually have any lipstick, so what I might just end up doing is putting like a clear gloss over this or something. So those are like the 3 products that I already had in my collection. But I did recently make a Sephora order where I ordered a couple things. I ordered the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This will be my highlight for today. This is in the shade 2, Fair. This is just a mini size, obviously. And then I also got the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand High Blush. This is in the shade Pink Gasm. I know like these 2 products were like super, super trending and like always sold out. I happened to find a sample of this in store so I could actually swatch it, because I've been like literally debating for probably about a year and a half now whether I want to pick this up, because it's really pricey for what it is. If you've seen my channel before, I have this other video which you can watch over here trying to dupe my favorite blush, which is Discontinued. It's a L'Oreal sort of like putty textured blush. I've been trying to find something to dupe either in sort of a liquid or cream format. I swatched this in store and it's not exact, but it's really, really pretty, so I wanted to try it out. More than a blush topper, but it's sort of that blush highlighter hybrid, which I personally am very into. So that is everything that we're testing out today. I don't have eyeliner, mascara, lashes, or lipstick, or eyebrows. And then bronzer, I said I was going to use the foundation and do the best I can. Oh, I don't have eyeshadow either. I might just stick like either a little bit of this Glowgasm on my lids, or if that's too like emollient. I might just use one of the foundation samples and just kind of pat that on my eyelids just for a little bit of color and dimension. Yeah, I guess we'll go from there. I don't have powder either, but I don't always powder my face, so that's not a major concern for me. So I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and test these things out. I am very eager to start, so let's just begin. We'll just start by spraying my face. Yeah, because it says primes and sets for up to 16 hours. Instantly locks in your look for makeup magic that looks just applied. No creasing, primes and sets for up to 16 hours. The way that it says primes and sets, it makes me think of sort of a MAC Fix Plus type product. So anyways, I'm just gonna apply it on my face as a base and hope that it works because we don't have another primer. Oh, okay. It has an okay smell. What does that remind me of? It sort of reminds me of like a mature woman. Like it's not quite old lady smell, it's not quite old lady perfume, and it's not quite that like perfumed smell that high-end products have, but it's almost there. That's the best way I can describe it. It's not bad, but it's not personally what I would choose. Okay, so I'll just give that a second to set in, and then we will move on to foundation. Interestingly enough, I expected this to be like a lot glowier, and I'm not getting that. Also, excuse this giant pimple that I have over here. Very offensive. Okay, so I'm hoping maybe we can get more of a glow later. So let's move on. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit because we're gonna do foundation. Just clip my hair back. All right, we're nice and zoomed in. Let's open up the foundation sample. Oh my God, they give you nothing in here. So we're gonna do our best to apply this. I think I'm gonna focus on kind of like the outer part of my face, and then I might have to compensate with the Hollywood Flawless filter because there is not a lot of product in here. I'm also gonna use a brush. Normally I'd use a sponge, but just because there's so little product in the sample, I'm gonna use a brush so that my sponge doesn't absorb any of the product, and then we can always blend out after if we need to. So I'm just gonna take some of my finger here. Okay, this looks to be a decent-ish match. It says that it's neutral, but it looks like it's kind of leaning a little yellow, in my opinion, which is fine because I've got golden undertones. Oh man, I got like so much hormonal acne going on right now. Okay, so I don't know if my sample is just old, but like it's kind of a dry-ish formula. And I don't know how quickly this dries, so we're just gonna blend it out real quick. Okay, yeah, they give you nothing in this sample. So I'm gonna do my best, but most of the product that I'll be wearing is probably the Flawless filter. You know what, I'm just gonna spray my brush, try and like disperse the product a bit that way with a damp brush. What the hell, dude? Okay, this does not give you enough product to accurately test it out. I'm not seeing medium coverage. I don't know how you're supposed to test out product when they give you so little. I'm sorry, this is an absolute joke. This is absurd. Okay, well, we tried. So I'm just gonna open the Hollywood Flawless filter and we'll just try that. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like foundation, but there is kind of like, it's almost got like a pearlescent finish. Very cool. It says Hollywood Flawless filter for a superstar youth glow. There's 5.5 milliliters in here, or 0.18 fluid ounces. Right, okay, and then it's just kind of like a doe foot. So just because I have product already on my face, I'm just gonna put this on my finger. It honestly just looks like foundation. Oh, I see. Interesting. I just feel like it dries so quickly on my skin, and maybe that's just because my skin is so dry. Okay, I guess I'll just kind of put it everywhere. This is a really unique product. I thought it would be kind of similar to the Danessa Myricks Prism Effects Primer Highlighter Hybrid. This is not that. This is very much like a pearlescent complexion product. How are you supposed to use this? Do you blend it out with a sponge? Like what are you supposed to do? Does not say. Soft focuses, perfects, and illuminates for a dewy, flawless, superstar youthful glow. I'm just gonna wet my sponge. I'm just gonna use some Fix Plus. Okay, I feel like I'm losing all of the pigment that we just put on my face. So maybe I'll just use my fingers to blend this out. Okay, I kind of look like the Tin Man. This kind of is what I've seen from Charlotte Tilbury, like that very, it's not even like glowy to me, it's pearlescent finish. Yeah, I look very glowy. I guess not quite, I wouldn't say dewy. I look shiny, glowy, very luminous, but it is actually sort of these illuminating particles. Is there mica in here? There is mica in here. Okay, that's what it is. Interesting. All right. I mean, I haven't really seen products like this on the market, so I think that's really unique. I know like now brands are starting to come out with dupes for this type of product. Like e.l.f. just came out with one recently. They're like Halo Glow or something like that. And I feel like I've seen one or two other brands do the same thing. So let's talk about the coverage on here, because it's not really. I would use this mixed in with a foundation to give it that luminous quality. Or if you're the type of person who doesn't really like wearing foundation, but you do want, like, it's not even coverage. I would say it's like a filter to give that sort of luminous glow to your skin. That's this type of product. Like, it doesn't seem to really have a whole lot of pigment on its own. Just looking close up on my face. Yeah, what I'm seeing is just kind of like remnants of that foundation that I tried out that didn't really... It like weirdly didn't spread. I don't know. It's very weird. For a Superstar Glow multi-use highlighter. Yeah, it doesn't actually say like how much coverage. Like I would consider this a very light coverage, I guess, multi-use complexion product, but like I've got some like pimples around kind of the lower part of my face, a little bit of redness over here, and it minimally covered it up, but it's kind of more like a filter. Most of all, it just kind of has that like brightening, shiny, luminous quality. I really don't want to use other complexion products, so I think I'm just gonna try and add a little bit more like kind of over here, and then see if we can kind of cover up, you know, like some of my acne, because it's weird because it looks like pigmented, and then when you blend it out it just kind of disappears. And okay, to be fair, I am someone who does enjoy more coverage, but I'm trying to be fair with this product and, you know, look at it for what it is. And in my regular like day-to-day life, I don't wear much makeup. I might do a, you know, bold, colorful eye look. Day-to-day, like if I'm going grocery shopping or something, I'm not going to be wearing makeup often if I go out, unless I'm like seeing someone. I'm not wearing makeup. So this type of product is nice just to throw on for like very minimal coverage, just to make myself look a little bit more awake. Yeah, it doesn't really do a whole lot for coverage. It's very pretty though. I like it. Like I would see myself using this more with like, if I wanted for like a minimal makeup day, I'd probably throw on like a BB or CC cream just to kind of even out my skin. And then kind of put this sort of in the center of my face, and then maybe on the high points of like my cheekbones for a more luminous, awake kind of look, especially if I'm using kind of a dewy BB or CC cream, just to add more of that glow, because I do like that effect. And people often say I look tired without makeup, so it, you know, adds a little bit of coverage, a little bit of sort of luminosity to make me look more awake and not sickly looking. But I don't really know if I personally feel confident wearing this on my own, because I don't have the best skin. I have eczema prone skin, and then right now I've got some hormonal acne that's been kind of coming and going. Not the most confident when it comes to posting photos on social media of my actual skin, and I feel like this is like essentially my bare skin with, you know, a little bit of like mica, like a mica cream over top, just to make it look shiny. So let's move on. I guess let's do sort of contour bronzer first, just kind of work our way up the face. Okay, let's open up this shade, which is 6 Neutral. And let's see if we can use, oh, this is still quite light. Okay, let's try maybe 10 Neutral. Okay, That's very like orangey. Okay, let's try 8 neutral. Maybe this is our Goldilocks moment. Wow, this is straight up yellow. I don't see how this is neutral at all. And again, we're doing sort of a contour bronzer situation. The color is very bizarre. It's like a yellowy green color, but we're gonna try and blend it out. Yeah, very bizarre color. Okay, so when I blend it, it basically disappears. So I'm just gonna try patting it in. I don't see how this is medium coverage. Like usually, even with a medium or full coverage product, when you blend it out, it has that coverage level, and like I've got a pimple right here and you can see it clear as day. Okay, I'm gonna just dip into the shade 6 neutral. Just try and lighten that a bit because it's like a weird color. It's making me look a little sickly. Yeah, it's like clearly not the right shade, but hopefully we can cover this with blush. I just want to add kind of more dimension on my face before we put on the blush, just as like a subtle little something. I'm really not liking this foundation. I mean, it's working okay as a contour. I definitely wouldn't buy this to use as a contour. When I blend it with my brush, it basically disappears, and it should not do that, especially something that has a decent amount of coverage. I just really hate the texture. It's dry, it's not really blending. I'm really not a fan, and I wonder if they gave this out as a sample because it's not good and they were trying to get rid of it, and maybe it wasn't selling. I don't really know. Okay, I know this looks a little crazy. I know this is not the right shade. I'm gonna stop here and I'm just gonna zoom in and show you, like, hopefully you can kind of see the texture that's happening. Okay, so I'm gonna turn down the brightness. I'm just gonna use the flash from my phone. Okay, so my forehead is basically just the Flawless filter. I don't know, we're getting like weird separation kind of towards the top. I feel like that's the remains of the other foundation. We're also having a hard time focusing, clearly. I feel like we're out of focus. There we are. Okay. So I don't know if you can see, it's like separating really weirdly at the top here, but we're gonna try and ignore that. All right, so now you can see where I've used the foundation as sort of contour bronzer. I know it looks kind of weird. You can see my really angry pimple that I am itching to pop, but I won't. And then I'm just gonna try and move this way so you can see the other side. I feel like this weird sort of like bronzer situation looks really silly. Yeah, oh my god, this lighter shade, like what is going on? It's separating so weirdly. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna use like an OG beauty guru technique, if you can call it that, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of my like quote-unquote bronzer shade to my forehead. Number 1, to try and get more even coverage, but number 2, I guess to like match with everything else. Yeah, it's just separating. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. Also because I feel like I look, maybe let's turn out the brightness a little bit, but I feel like I look a little too almost orange. We're looking a little orange. So I'm just gonna use my sponge. Still a little damp. I'm just gonna use that to blend out the edges of this bronzer quote-unquote shade so we can soften that. We're still getting that bronzer effect, but it's just toning it down a little bit. And next we're going to use the product that I'm probably most excited for, which is the Glowgasm. And again, I got the shade Pinkgasm. This one and Peachgasm are like always sold out. Wow, this is so pretty. I don't feel fancy enough to use this. It says it's the Beauty Light Wand High Blush, and it says twist to open, gently squeeze to release product, twist to close. then apply with the cushion applicator. Okay, I understand. So we have an on and off little area. I twisted it on. I guess you squeeze, then you lock it. So we've got like this nice little powder puff that will get very dirty very soon. Maybe we can squeeze a little bit more out of here, and then I'm gonna lock it. And I guess I'll just apply directly to my face. I don't know how quickly this dries either, so... Ooh, this is so pretty. It's more subtle than I usually go for, I guess. People said it's very metallic. It doesn't give you kind of that like glowy look. It's kind of like I wouldn't say it's a foiled look, but like that's the best way that I can kind of describe it. But it does have that kind of mica-based luminous quality, similar to the Hollywood Flawless filter. But this gives you a little bit more of that wet look at the same time. Oh, this is so beautiful. It feels so classy. So yeah, this is very different than other glowy blushes that I've used. And you honestly actually don't need that much to get a decent effect. I was just expecting a little bit more of like a duochrome effect because it's almost got that when you first apply it, but this is not one of those products. This is really expensive. This was like $52 or something. I'm a little embarrassed about how much I spent on this, but you get a lot of product that comes out of here. Just trying to use up everything that's on the little puff. Just don't want to waste any of this product because it's so expensive. Because of that luminosity, if you have any texture or acne on your face, I feel like this accentuates it. Same thing with large pores. There's so much product on here. Okay, this is as much as I can like use. So you know what? While this is still wet, I'm just gonna put some on my eyelids and kind of blend it out with a sponge. It's gonna crease, but I don't really care. It just kind of adds a little bit of color. We got like a sort of cute monochrome look going on. A little bit on the outer corner. Normally, if you visited my channel before, you know that I don't do my makeup like this at all. I like really bright, bold, colorful looks, but occasionally, you know, if I'm staying for the weekend or whatever at my in-laws or at my parents and I forgot to pack an eyeshadow palette, let's say, sometimes I'll just take my blush or bronzer and just do a light little layer on my eyelids, just add a little bit of color. All right, so that's what we're looking like so far. You know what, I'm gonna just add some setting spray. I can't remember even who I watched who recommended this setting spray, but I feel like it doesn't really, like it's nice. I just don't really know what it does. I'm not seeing like a glow or anything. It's honestly like, to me, it just feels like a setting spray. I feel like it also just toned down my blush. So not my usual style of makeup, but I feel like it looks kind of cute. So we're gonna keep going. While we're here, I'm just gonna add the lip liner. I've used this many times before. It's fine. There are lip liners that I like a bit more, and I don't like how it breaks when you sharpen it. I also don't love how it looks like it's supposed to be a very bright red, and I feel like it's almost more of like a pinky red. Oh, my Cupid's bow is a little sharp. Okay, I'm gonna not talk while I do lip liner. Normally I'm lazy, and I don't always fill in my lips with lip liner completely. Usually I'll line the outside and then maybe do a little bit on the inside. But we're testing out all Charlotte Tilbury products, so I'm just filling in my lips completely, just to kind of show you the extent of how pigmented this product is. Okay, I feel like I did a really shitty job lining my lips. The nice thing about this lip liner is you can kind of smudge it, like if you want a slightly out of the lines, a little smudged effect, you can take a brush and just kind of smudge it. It's very drying and it drags a lot. Like, it's not a creamy lip liner like some other brands that I've tried. Honestly, to me, this feels very similar to a NYX lip liner, which personally I don't particularly love. They feel very scratchy, very dry, and this kind of feels like that. Like, it does have kind of that waxy feeling where it feels like it will stay on through food. It's not my favorite texture. Like, literally I bought this because I was looking for this particular color and I could only find it from Charlotte Tilbury. I guess spoilers for the end of the video, but I wouldn't repurchase this after. Now it's 10:30. It's been like basically an hour of me applying makeup. So I'm going to finish off the rest of my face off camera using, non-Charlotte Tilbury products. Then I'll come back, show you the final look, and then I'll talk about my thoughts about all of these products. Kind of we'll take a look and see how the products look on my face after sitting on my skin for a little bit. All right, so I'm back, and this is the final look. It's been, I guess, about an hour and a half since I started applying the products. I know that's not a lot of time, but I feel like the products are light enough that they're probably not going to separate. So let's do a full rundown of these products and then kind of my thoughts about the brand overall. I guess let's just talk about them in order of application. So I applied the setting spray as a primer. I don't really know if it did much because the products that I'm wearing are so light. So I'm going to talk about that at the end. Next, I applied the, what's this one called? The Beautiful Skin Foundation. And as you saw earlier, I really struggled with this product. I don't know if my samples are just old or if the product is just very thick. It was like tar. It didn't really spread. And then when I tried to blend it out, it just kind of disappeared. I really hated this. I would give this a 0 out of 5. Maybe there just wasn't enough product in the samples, but I would not buy this product. Side note though, if you have used this product before, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Please comment. I would love to know what you think of this because maybe these samples just went bad. Maybe there just wasn't enough product in these samples. I've been doing makeup for a very long time and I've never struggled with a product the way I did with these. It was like I applied them. I could see that it looked like a medium coverage product and then it just didn't really blend. It sort of disappeared. Hopefully it showed up on camera. As you saw on my forehead, it just sort of separated. It looked really crusty. It was just awful. Also, side note, the colors for these, they say most of these samples are neutral. I think they run really yellow, borderline Oompa Loompa. I'm not a fan. And I'm looking at my face and the area where I sort of faked contour bronzer, it looks like it's almost separating a little bit in some places. I'm really not impressed at all with this product. Moving on. The Hollywood Flawless Filter. I was expecting it to have more pigmentation, and maybe I just chose a shade that's pretty much like my skin tone, maybe a little bit lighter. So maybe that's why it didn't really give much coverage. I honestly, I expected there to be more coverage. That said, so as a sort of luminous foundation highlighter hybrid, I'm not impressed. As a highlighting luminous filter, this is such a cool product. It's more than a highlighter. I could put a highlighter on my face, all over my face, and I would look like the Tin Man. This is not that. It's so lightly tinted that I think it works as sort of if you want to add a glowy base, if you want to mix it into your foundation. It's really cool. It really does add that luminous quality to my entire face. So I think what I would probably do next time is I would apply a normal foundation as I normally would, and then I would add this over top foundation as it suggests on the use and application to add, extra luminosity, because I find just because I have dry skin, I'll apply a dewy, luminous foundation. It looks great for a few hours and then I just lose that quality. It looks a little more dull by the end of the day. And because this has mica particles, it'll keep you looking very luminous and shiny without looking greasy because it's literally just reflecting light. Which editing me, I will try and add a couple clips of me trying this out in a few different ways. Okay, so we're gonna try out the Hollywood Flawless Filter mixed into foundation. So I'm just gonna take the Rare Beauty foundation, which is kind of more on the matte side, and we'll see how much we can get it to be more glowy. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do half my face with one side, half my face with the other, just to speed up this review process. So I'll just lay down a primer. I'm just gonna use a sticky primer, so it's not gonna add any glow or anything. And I'll put that on both sides of my face, because why not? On this side of my face, I'm just gonna wear the foundation on its own. And on this side, I'm gonna mix the Hollywood Flawless filter in. So I'll just take some of the Hollywood Flawless filter, take some of the foundation. Right, I'm just gonna stand in front of my window. Is there a difference between the two sides? Okay, I have actually tried this before. You know what? I'm just gonna add a little bit more of this over top, because I have been using it and it does actually show up. I'm just gonna like sort of pat this in. Okay, so now you can totally see it. Don't think it really works being mixed into foundation, or at least not a matte foundation. Just wanted to see if it would work, but I guess not. So we're trying it over top foundation. And as you can see, I mean, that's the side with it on, that's without. Definite difference. Okay, and I will add that it is, let's see, about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'll do a couple check-ins throughout the day, I guess, to see kind of like how it wears. Okay, I just did my eyeshadow, so it's been sitting on my skin for about like 20-ish minutes or so. And you can really see that glow coming through on this side of my face versus this side, where it's clearly a lot more matte in comparison. And I am standing in front of a window, so this is natural light coming through, but we can also test it in front of my ring light. Okay, it's now 1:20, so it's been about 3 hours or so since the makeup has been sitting on my face. We're getting a little bit of creasing that you can probably see right over here on the side where I have the Hollywood Flawless filter. On the other side, I think we're looking okay. Yeah, actually not too bad. It's a little dry and crusty, but otherwise no creasing, so I'm gonna attribute this to the Hollywood Flawless filter. So I guess it does crease a bit, but normally when I apply this, like, I just want it as sort of even a coverage between the two sides. Normally I would kind of blend it out with my fingers a little bit, but just wanted to show you guys, so now I'll just kind of smooth that area out. Just thought I would mention that, but otherwise it looks good. It's still very radiant looking, as you can see, compared to this side, the matte side, where we have like a little bit of radiance, but I mean, hardly. I think that's just more the reflection from my window. But this side, as you can see, we got that very reflective mica-based glow. It looks very healthy. I'm not wearing any other like complexion products. Literally, I just have foundation, primer on the side, and then the Hollywood Flawless filter, and that's it. I didn't want to put on blush or bronzer because really wanted to show you what it looks like, kind of normal application. Okay, this is probably the last check-in for the day because the sun is gonna set in about an hour, but we got some really nice golden hour lighting right now. Oh, my aloe plant is in the way. So I figured might as well just do my last check-in now. So this is how things are looking. We've got a little bit more creasing happening over here, which I'll just try and blot out of the way. Yeah, so this is the matte side without the Hollywood Flawless filter. This side is with the Hollywood Flawless filter. All right, so we've definitely still got a glow, as you can see on my cheekbone and on my forehead, actually. Yeah, you can see it now in this lighting. I'd say not as prominent as before. Granted, this is a fairly matte foundation, so I just wanted to see like how it would show up on like a really matte foundation. If I did want the glow to last, I would probably pair it with either the Rare Beauty primer or the Supergoop Glow Screen. Those ones are like really, really kind of like Tin Man, mica-y, shiny, reflective. So those paired with the Hollywood Flawless filter really give you that glow throughout the day. All things considered, looking at the matte side compared to the more glowy side. Still a visible difference after being on my face for like 5-ish hours now at this point, 5.5. So not too bad. I'd say we have decent longevity. I would use some other products just to increase that longevity a little bit more, get more of that effect long term, but all things considered, pretty good. I think this is so cool. It's a really unique product, and I know the full size is so expensive, but I really would consider picking up the full size once I use this because it adds such a lovely, healthy glow to your complexion, and you don't have to do that much to achieve it. So I think this is excellent. I would give it an 11 out of 5. Really, really unique product. I wouldn't say I've used a ton of products, like I can't afford to buy every new release, but I do very closely follow releases, and this is the level of innovation from a brand that's not particularly known, let's say, for innovation and like new textures or anything like that. But this is a product that is innovative, it's interesting, it can appeal to a mass variety of consumers, and I just can't stop talking about it. It's really cool. I love the glow that I achieved using this product. So I definitely want to play with this some more. It soft focuses, perfects, and illuminates for a dewy, flawless superstar youth glow. Absolutely see that. Amazing, amazing. I really love this. Incredible. Next, I use the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand High Blush in the shade Pinkgasm. Is this the best blush I have ever used in my life? No. Is it a really nice blush? Absolutely. This has been said by a lot of people. I've watched a lot of reviews on this product. The mode of application is really weird. I really don't like the way that you like twist it and it's got this like puff on the end. I feel like you just waste a lot of product that way. It would just be better if it was in kind of like a more traditional tube like this, I think, with that doe foot. You know, you can put it on your face, you're going to blend it out anyways. So I don't think the sponge tip on the end really achieves very much because like I think it blends out best with your finger personally. But the product itself is lovely. Because I've got 2 layers, each of a very luminous, shiny, reflective product, a Hollywood Flawless Filter and the Glowgasm, it does emphasize my pores a bit. Like, I mean, it's not terrible, but they are noticeable. That said, I'm not wearing very much in terms of base makeup. So this is kind of like it's sitting on top of my bare skin. So I guess, yeah, you're going to see my pores. I would probably just use a pore minimizing primer like right here. This is like kind of where you see my pores the most. I'm just being nitpicky right now. This product is beautiful. It, again, adds to that very shiny, luminous quality. Because I kind of blended it out, I lost some of that metallic finish, but as you can see, there is still a lot of pigmentation. So it is a very lovely pigmented product. If you don't blend it out as much as I did, then you'll still get a bit of that metallic, reflective shine. I just feel pretty inexpensive, honestly. I think it's lovely. I would give it a 5 out of 5. Would I repurchase this? I don't think so, but I'm also very particular when it comes to blush and any kind of shiny, reflective, sparkly kind of blush. But if you're not as crazy as I am about blush, this is really, really nice. It makes a very expensive but very lovely gift. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to enjoy wearing this. Like, this will be for like, you know, a nice date night or anytime that I'm taking pictures and I want to like add that extra oomph, that extra shine to my cheeks, that youthful glow. I will be using this. Also, I used it on my eyelids, so it is creasing a little bit. And now that it's sort of like blended out, you can see there's like a little bit of sparkle particles that don't really show up on my cheeks, but they do show up on my eyelids for some reason. It's a lovely pigmented product from a brand that I wouldn't say they're known for like no makeup. Like, you can definitely see the makeup from, you know, a Charlotte Tilbury artist, but it is a lot more toned down than 2016 makeup, let's say. And that being said, there's a really beautiful amount of pigment, a beautiful amount of shine. It's a really, really lovely product. I do recommend it. It's just, I don't know if I personally would repurchase it, but it's very, very nice. I love it. I'm really going to enjoy continuing to use it. I feel like this video is going to be a million years long. Then I did the setting spray. It's fine. The setting spray, like maybe just because I'm not really wearing products that are very heavy, like they're all kind of lightweight sitting on the skin. I don't know if I really see much of a difference. If anything, I feel like when I sprayed it on and, tried to blend out that awful foundation, I feel like it just dissolved it, to be honest. Then blended out the blush, I feel like it also kind of made that disappear. Based on my first impressions today, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I'm really not super impressed, but I will add in footage once I've tried it out with some other foundations that are a little bit more finicky after like the 5-6 hour mark, and see how it works with other products, because I feel like maybe I just didn't try it out with the right products. One more thing actually I will note though is these products have been sitting on my face for, let's say on average about an hour, and I'm not seeing any creasing, like especially from the Hollywood Flawless filter. I did put a lot of that on, and I'm not seeing any creasing kind of around my smile lines or anything like that, which is fantastic. Lastly, I use the lip, what does she call it? The Lip Cheat in the shade Kiss and Tell. I have been using this product for a while now, and I honestly bought it just because I needed a lipstick in that particular shade. I would not recommend this. I would try and find a different brand. Now you can find more brands and more shades, but it's a really overpriced, mediocre lip liner. Like, okay, yes, it does do the job. It lines your lips. It keeps the color, it does what it needs to do. But the actual, like pencil part, like the color part, it's kind of dry. It's very waxy, but it's like a dry, waxy texture. The pencil part is wooden, and if you're not careful about sharpening it, it's very, very sharp on your lips. Again, very uncomfortable. When I was applying it, it felt like it was dragging on my lips. My lips, even now with a gloss over top, feel very dry and like, not crusty, but like dehydrated a bit. Whereas other lip liners that I've tried are much creamier. They still last a long time. It doesn't feel like all the moisture is being sucked out of them. The color is lovely. It's opaque. It's, as I mentioned, it's long lasting. It's just not the most comfortable to apply. And I feel like for how much I paid for this, it's not worth it. So I give it like a 4 out of 5 because it works, but it's so overpriced that it's not worth it. So I think that's everything. My entire face from Charlotte Tilbury. My impression overall of the brand is it's very nice. It's luxurious. The packaging is very luxurious. The quality of the products is good. And I think that's because it's a makeup artist brand. Makeup artist brands, they know what they're doing. They have been doing this for a very long time. They know what works, what doesn't for a variety of skin tones, skin types. Obviously they have their particular style and forte. The products are going to fit within, that specialty area or that style of makeup. But they've been doing this for such a long time that they know what works. And I think overall, with the exception of this terrible foundation, everything else, like, it's consistent, it's luxurious, but it works. And I think even though Charlotte Tilbury, the makeup artist, the person, even though her style of makeup might not appeal to everyone, I think these products will appeal to a mass market of people. Not just people who are kind of into a little bit more, I wouldn't say clean girl makeup because it's definitely not that, but definitely not as bold and colorful as some other brands. Like, there's a good amount of pigmentation. The products work. They're interesting. Like, especially, I just can't get over the Hollywood Flawless filter. It is such a cool product. And even this Glowgasm, you don't see a whole lot of products like this on the market. And the ones that you do see seem to be dupes of this product. I think the brand has definitely carved a niche space for itself. I wouldn't say it's the most innovative brand out there, but they are doing some really interesting things. It's really cool and refreshing to see that, and I love that. I'll be completely honest. Most of their launches I'm not really excited about, but they do have some really good gems. And, you know, the look that I created today is not the most innovative. This is kind of, with the exception of maybe the bold red lip, this is kind of my everyday light makeup. It's not the most exciting. It's really basic, to be honest. But I just love the way that my face looks. Like, I've been searching for that sort of glowy, luminous look without looking oily, getting that luminosity that actually will last. I think I found the products to do that. I'm really, really impressed. So overall, this is a really positive impression that I've had of the brand. Very, very happy with these products. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you for listening to my rambling about this brand. If you've tried these products before, or if you have a product that you recommend that I try out sort of based on what I've mentioned about my personal makeup tastes. Normally my looks are a lot more bold, a lot more colorful, or a lot edgier, a lot more experimental. So if you also enjoy that kind of thing, I'd love to hear your thoughts below and your recommendations below. I just love talking about makeup in general. I'm such a makeup enthusiast, and I just love talking to people about makeup. So if you guys want to talk about makeup, then I'm sure you'll enjoy the content that I post on my other social media, and I leave links in every video in the description box below, so you can check that out if you're interested. That just helps me out as a small creator. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated, because literally I don't get paid to do this. This is just a fun hobby, but I would love to grow my platform, so every little bit helps. If you enjoy the looks that I do here on my channel, usually they're a lot more bold and colorful than what I have going on today, but I do love lots of shininess, lots of texture, playing with color. So if that's your kind of thing, then I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. That way you'll get updated every time I post a new video, and I'll see you guys next time.